I've been helping people with money for more than 20 years, but no one stumped me more than the princess.
If there's something that I want, I feel that I deserve it.
I'm here to help this princess take control of her money and her life. Over the next 4 weeks, she'll live on a strict cash diet and complete weekly challenges.
Just have the best of everything, do the best of everything, be the it girl.
If this princess has what it takes, I'll transform her from spender to saver, and I'll give her up to $5,000 to help her pay down her debt. Oh my God!
I don't think she could change me.
No changes, no money.
Oh, 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 she's a princess. She's a princess.
Meet Princess Ashley.
My name is Ashley, I'm 25 years old, and I work as a social worker. My attitude with money is that it comes and it goes. I want what I want, I'm gonna get what I want.
Thank you.
I love to buy anything flashy, I love jewelry, love to buy clothes,
Thank you.
shoes, purses, anything to make me stand out.
She does have a spending problem. She pretty much lives paycheck to paycheck.
Not every girl on the street's wearing the same stuff as me, and I think that's really nice to show off. I like to go get my hair done probably once a month. Gotta keep up the blondes. Tan about 2 or 3 times a week. Manicures, pedicures, probably go every 2 weeks. I probably go out at least twice a week. Concerts, shows, nightclubs, 6, 7 drinks in a night. I'll just ask my friends, oh, can you just pay for this for now? I'll pay you back later. And then just say that you forgot your bank card or that you lost it.
She's like, oh, okay, I'll get you next time. Next time never rolls around.
I don't really think about my credit that often. I don't really see the big deal.
Ashley might not think it's a big deal, but her husband Scott does.
We met in college 7 years ago. We've been married for 1 year now.
Scott is kind, considerate, he loves me unconditionally, and he's always there for me. He'll pay, you know, maybe my half of rent or my half of the car.
I pay anywhere between 60 and 75% of the bills. I have to work a part-time job on top of my full-time job just to keep us afloat.
I'm the woman, and I think that sometimes that's a man's job.
While Scott's paying the bills, his sister Heather sees trouble ahead.
They're gonna end up in their 40s and have nothing to show for it. I'm very concerned that if things don't change, the marriage won't last.
And she has good reason to be worried.
I can't use credit cards anymore because the bank has cut them off. We had so many creditors calling at one point, we canceled our home phone.
I don't think she knows how bad her spending is affecting our future. We probably could have a house, we probably could have had children already if we wanted to.
Scott can just be a little boring. I want to go out and have fun. I'm so sick of you nagging at me every single day about money.
I don't want you to go out and spend it on clothes and on shoes.
When you're constantly fighting, things can get a little fiery. I think if I'm asking you for something, then you should be able to help me.
Ashley's selfish behavior is putting everything at risk.
I'm not sure what will happen with our relationship.
I can only hope that, you know, he doesn't leave.
I think she needs like a kick in the butt.
So they've called me in. I've brought her here to show her the error of her ways. Hey, Ashley.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Do you think you're prepared for what I have to say?
Yeah.
We'll see. So you're the girl who wants it all and wants it all right now.
I do.
How many hours a week do you work?
About 40.
And how many hours a week does Scott work?
Probably about 65.
How's that fair?
That's his choice.
Oh, you think he does it by choice?
Yeah.
Let's see what Scott has to say about that.
I never imagined marrying someone that would be in this much debt, and she doesn't seem to worry about spending, and it's probably because I'm there for her to support her habits.
Ashley, why did you marry Scott?
Because I love him.
When was the last time you went without something so Scott could have what he wanted?
I don't know. I couldn't even tell you.
His money is your money and your money is your money.
We're married, so, you know, what's mine is his.
Yeah, you know you've got him wrapped around your little finger. Who nominated you for Princess?
My sister-in-law, Heather.
And why do you think she nominated you?
Maybe she's jealous. All she is there in my life for is to criticize me, to be a bitch and to pick at me.
Okay, let's see what Heather says.
Scott wants to have a house and he wants to save up for his future. Ashley is the complete opposite of that. I think that he gives into her a lot to try to keep the peace and to avoid a fight.
Is that true?
I guess maybe a little bit.
Virtually all your answers demonstrate someone who is shallow and self-centered and doesn't give a rat's butt for anybody but herself.
I guess it's true.
The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you and Scott and Heather the reality of your financial situation. Heather, you know why you're here, because you nominated her. And you, darling, are the man-child, because as long as you allow her to keep walking all over you, she will keep doing it. You need to grow a backbone, okay? All right, so let's look at some numbers. You have made no payments on your consumer debt for the last 8 months. You've made no payments on your student debt since you graduated from school. And in the interim, you've racked up a bunch of other debt, including a car loan, store credit, unpaid taxes, and overdraft, bringing you to almost $40,000 worth of debt.
My jaw hit the floor.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting her debt to be that high.
You have no idea how much interest you're paying on any of this debt. Why not?
I just don't care.
How can you never have thought about it?
It really pisses me off that she didn't make an effort to pay down her student loans and things like that while she was living in my parents' basement, and now it's just gotten way out of control.
Let's see how you are spending your money. In this 1 month, you spent $77 on bank charges. You spent $143 on clothes. You spent $250 on beauty. You spent $630 in cash. So we have absolutely no idea where that went.
That must be a whole lot of drinking.
That doesn't include the eating out or the entertainment. Really?
I don't believe it.
You don't believe the numbers?
I still don't believe it. I don't. There's no way.
Here's the problem. You're earning $35,500 a year. You would have to earn $76,000 to spend what you're currently spending. To spend what you're currently spending and get your debt paid off, you would have to have an income of $106,000. If you were paying your own way using credit to fill the gap, you'd be going into debt to the tune of $2,200 a month.
You can tell by the numbers that I'm being taken advantage of.
So this is the part where we get down and dirty. At this point, you have to tell me you're prepared to cut her off.
I'm prepared to do that.
Because she now needs to learn to stand on her own 2 feet. I'm going to give you a series of challenges to do over the next few weeks. You do the challenges to my satisfaction. I'll give you up to $5,000 to help deal with some of this mess. Okay, you don't do the challenges, you don't get the money. You don't have the right attitude, you don't get the money. You put your hand in your pocket and she doesn't get the money.
Right.
Over the next few weeks, you're going to learn to pay your fair share. You're going to learn when enough is enough. And of course, we're going to have to deal with the debt.
The first thing I thought is, well, how the hell am I going to do that?
Coming up.
Oh, she's a princess. Oh, she's a princess.
Ashley, the princess who puts herself first,
It's kind of my time to shine.
while her newlywed husband has put his dreams on hold.
Don't you want to save up and buy a house?
Her friends and family are fed up with her selfish behavior, so they've decided to cut her off.
She's got to stop relying on people and asking people to help her out.
Ashley needs to be cut off.
I do need to cut Ashley off.
I've got 4 weeks to whip her into shape. If this princess completes my challenges, she could earn up to $5,000 to pay down her debt. Did you bring your debit cards? This is your Get Real challenge. So you're going to have to learn to live on cash, and all you get this month is $50 a week. What?
On everything?
Scott, do you spend $50 a week on yourself?
Oh, probably not.
Everything about living on $50 is going to be just super challenging.
Did you by any chance take cash out of your bank just before you came to see me so that you'd have cash at home?
Maybe a little bit.
How much?
$40.
There's your 50. You're done.
It was really frustrating because, I'm entitled to take out some money before I came.
I want you to split all the costs associated with living together 50-50, because we're not counting your part-time job. If you want to keep working your part-time job, that's your business. But it's not to support the household, it's for what you want. Okay?
I wanted to hug Gail when she said that.
It is time to stop behaving like a child and start paying your own way. Okay? We'll see you next week.
Thank you. I am not looking forward to this.
The Get Real Challenge is all about snapping a princess into reality. Ashley questioned my numbers, so I sent her to analyze her own spending.
I challenged Gail last week that I didn't think that it was correct that I spent that much on my wants. So she made me look into it myself, and she was pretty much right.
Now that she's gotten real about what she has been spending, Ashley has to find a way to contribute equally to the cost of running the household by creating a 50-50 budget with Scott.
How often do we eat out?
Well, we're gonna have to go back.
$150 a month you need to spend on clothes.
That's nothing.
I know she was really frustrated with the budget. She had a really tough time with that.
Cutting back on everything is gonna obviously affect my life. Just one manicure, pedicure a month. I have to put it in. I've cut back 90% on everything, and it's still not good enough. We need to still put in debt repayment.
I think you're gonna have to put more than $400 a month.
And where do you want me to come up with that? No way.
She seemed very emotional. She's probably a little bit scared seeing all the numbers in front of her. So you have $35 left, and we want to put money towards a house.
I don't know what to tell Scott. There's no room to save for a house in there.
So you and Scott did a budget together this week. How was it?
It felt terrible.
Well, this is a discussion about what you're going to do to fix the problem. How many hours a week do you work right now?
Between 40, 42,
How many hours a week is he working?
60.
Okay, so if you want to be an equal partner, you'll work as hard as he's working to clean this all up. Does that not make sense?
Yeah, someone has to be home with the dog and cleaning.
Ashley!
I don't want to get another job. I went in this, thinking it's going to be quick. After 6 weeks, great. It's not 6 weeks, it's like 6 years, And I think, gosh, am I going to have to think about this for the next six years?
Your next challenge is about figuring out what you have and putting what you have to the best possible use. This is your more for less challenge. And you'll have to decide how best to use what you have now so you don't have to spend any more money. Good luck. Coming up.
This is wrong on so many levels.
Your clothing expresses who you are.
Too sleazy, too low.
Oh, she's a princess. Oh, she's a princess.
Princess Ashley prioritized her self-indulgence over her marriage.
We're gonna have a lot of serious problems down the road, both with our marriage and financially.
She questioned my numbers. And even when she figured them out for herself, she still wasn't ready to give anything up.
No way. I have nothing.
This princess has a long way to go. I put her on a cash diet, but she's having a hard time quitting shopping cold turkey.
Being on a budget has made me pretty grumpy and irritable. I'm not obviously living the lifestyle that I once was, and it's a big change. I thought I'd come out to the malls and found some items that I really liked, and I can't afford it, and I had to put it back.
The More for Less challenge is about learning to get the things you want for a price you can afford. Ashley used to make impulsive purchases, and she's got the wardrobe to prove it. I asked her to inventory her wardrobe and add it all up.
I don't think it's a bad thing at all that I have lots of clothes and stuff. Like $20,000, a lot of that was accumulated over time.
To help her figure out how to do more and spend less, I sent her to work with a stylist.
So put together an outfit for a job interview.
I would pick a dress.
I would like to see better fabrics and better cuts. Show me what you would wear to meet with a bank manager.
Maybe just, a floral top and some jeans.
No.
That sucks because those are my clothes and that's what I wear every single day. Maybe something like this.
Are you going for a mortgage in Vegas? It is not appropriate.
This?
Whatever. Hi, I was wondering if I could get my mortgage.
She proved to me she couldn't make an outfit.
If she hadn't said anything, I would walk into the bank wearing that and I would think it's okay.
So Ashley, I have brought you some building blocks that I believe should be in your wardrobe. You think this is plain? Just put those leather shoes with this. Don't you think that's fantastic?
Yeah, it's different. It's nice.
I hope that Ashley learned to not spend her money so frivolously and to plan her wardrobe.
I'm used to buying tons of items and, smaller costs, but she really showed me that I can buy one item that, $150. Basically, I'm buying less. It felt okay, it wasn't me.
I'm not sure Ashley got the lesson. And that's not the only question I have. You know how you did this assessment of what you spent? So you said to me, you have 40 pairs of high heel shoes and they're worth about $1,400. Are you telling me you only spent $35 a pair for your shoes? Yeah, I'm thinking you're underestimating here. I'm gonna say your stuff is probably worth closer to $20,000 or $25,000.
Okay.
What do you think Scott would say about having $25,000 to put down on a house?
I'm not gonna sell it all and put it towards a house and have nothing. That's crazy.
Are you ready for your next challenge? This is your give back challenge. You've made a mess of your credit. You've gone months without making a payment. So you need to figure out what damage you've done to your credit history. Then make a presentation to explain to people who have mucked up their credit history what they have to do to fix their credit history. Okay, I'll see you next week.
Doing a presentation to losers, I think it's silly and I'm not impressed.
To succeed in this Give Back challenge, not only does Ashley have to share her knowledge with others, but she needs to show me that she's willing to own up to her mistakes in front of Scott. I sent a financial blogger to assess Ashley's performance.
All right, so my name is Ashley, and just a few tips and stuff for fixing your credit. Start by ordering copies of your credit report. Get a secure credit card, which means you give the credit card company a deposit, which usually will be your credit limit for that card. Always pay at least the minimum payment. You may not think that a few missed payments or forgotten debt would matter, but they do.
Have you budgeted anything during your 2-3 year plan for yourself, like shopping or manicures, pedicures, anything for yourself?
No vacation, no clothes, no pedicures, nothing. I mean, I'd like to be optimistic about it, but I'm sure there's gonna be those months where, I cave.
I would have liked to see a little bit more fire behind a sense of urgency to want to get herself out of debt.
My poor credit has affected my life in so many negative ways. I'm unable to be approved for any credit cards, and the ones I did have are closed. I can't book a hotel, buy anything online, or purchase gifts for family.
I think some of them were really flabbergasted and really blown away by my lifestyle.
My concern is that she has a really good plan in place on paper, but I'm not sure that her behaviors are going to change.
I'm in no shape to contribute to a mortgage with my husband. My rating is 511, which is poor. Bottom line, 98% of people have a higher credit rating than me.
It was really awkward having Scott there. I have no idea what was going through his head.
I know she thinks she's going to be able to fix it within 3 years, but it's really going to take a lot of dedication on her part to really stick with her budget and to make sure she's not overspending.
Coming up, what are you thinking?
Oh, she's a princess. Oh, she's a princess.
4 weeks ago, Ashley was a self-absorbed princess with over-the-top taste. I challenged her to live on a budget.
It can take you 50 months to pay that off.
That's way too long.
Make do with what she has, and come clean about her debt.
My credit is better than only 2% of consumers.
She did each of my challenges to the letter of the law, but I'm not so sure she ever embraced the spirit.
I don't think it's necessary to get another job. I mean...
But has she done enough to earn my full $5,000? Before I make my final decision, I met with her husband, Scott. Have you seen a change in your girl?
Sure, I have. The other day, she had to get some work done on her car, and she actually had money in her bank account to cover the expense of the car repair.
Oh, that's what she told you. Actually, no. It put her into the negative. But that's okay. At least she's working towards getting to where she needs to be, because not everybody sort of buys into the process the whole way right off the bat. It is your job to make sure that any progress that's been made doesn't erode.
A lot of her bills are not going to be paid off for numerous years, so to save up that money for a down payment for a house is still going to take a very long time.
Ashley, come on in, honey.
Life was great before, not having to worry about anything, but that's not reality. Some aspects, things suck.
Well, what do you think was the biggest lesson you learned?
I just can't push things aside and forget about them, and I'm an adult, and I need to face things, and I need to own up to them.
I went through your statements, and I have some things I need to talk to you about because you have a tendency to go into overdraft, Ashley. And the reason I'm concerned about it is that you're spending money on non-essentials even while you're in overdraft.
So nobody ever here buys a coffee out, ever, because they're on a budget. Please.
Okay, I do this to check and see whether not only did you do the challenges, but you also got the spirit of the lessons, okay? And you did do the challenges, and don't get me wrong, Ashley, you have made progress, but you have a really long way to go, and you need to put your nose to the grindstone.
Before I didn't care. I knew nothing about the debt that I was in, and I think about it a lot, which is frustrating, but I'm working towards it.
You're a little more than half the way. So I have for you today a check for $3,000. This will get you out of overdraft, right? And that will ease up your cash flow problem so you can focus on building up your emergency fund and your savings for the house.
I think at least $4,000 or $4,500 would have been fair.
I wish you the best of luck, okay?
In some ways, Ashley is still a princess.
I'm still gonna do the things that I like, but they're gonna be different.
I can tell she loves to go shop. She's all out of control. She can't stop. Designer clothes, jewels, hair. She's throwing money everywhere. My head is spinning. Oh, 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 oh. She's a princess. She's a princess. Modern day princess.